Trump transformed the skyline of New York. Then he went off and did all that licensing thing where he slapped his name on a bunch of casinos and things like that. And that was not, that was not as exciting. And then he had a successful TV show for 120 years or however long that show was on. Not an easy thing to do. Also, very popular, big success. And then I keep hearing this thing like he didn't win the election, Hillary lost the election. Absolute nonsense. Listen, he knocked off people who Charles Krauthammer called the best array of Republican candidates ever. He knocked them down like 9 pins. Also, yes, it's true. Was Hillary Clinton one of the worst candidates ever? Yes, she was. But, he knew she was going to be the presidential candidate. He knew who he was coming up against, and he chose his time, he took his shot, and he won the presidency. You don't do that stuff if you don't know. If you don't at least have an instinct, a kind of native intelligence for success, which he obviously does. This thing he did with dealing with Chuck and Nancy, I predicted he was going to do it, but I did not predict how completely it was going to set wheels in motion everywhere. Like, I don't think Trump could have predicted it exactly, but suddenly they're re-looking at the Obamacare repeal and replace. That's moving forward. The Lindsey Graham deal is moving forward into committee. The Democrats, he's got the Democrats in this terrible position because they're dealing with him over the Dreamers, but now the Dreamers are angry because they feel like they deserve, they're just completely entitled people. Nancy Pelosi goes to a meeting in San Francisco and the Dreamers show up. She's trying to explain to them that she's getting them this deal where they'll get to stay in the country by law, and they stand up and they shout her down. They chase her off the stage, and you can hear them, in case you can't make it out, what they're shouting is, "We owe you nothing. This is our democracy." These people who came here illegally, right? It's like, "Welcome to America, Nancy Pelosi." They're shouting down a U.S. Congresswoman. Take a listen to this.
Let me say this, because you've had your say, and it's beautiful to our ears to hear your protection, your self-dignity. But I'm not, hey, if you don't, hey, stop it. Just stop it now. Just stop it now. Just stop it now. Let's stop it now. Stop it. Look, I want to tell you something. You can. To what? To what? Of course. We have. So, do I assume?
It would be so much fun to deport those people. I mean, it would just be, I would laugh. I usually think, if they carry these poor people out, that's too harsh. I would have just come in like in that moment and just said, all right, we're deporting everybody. Goodbye. Unbelievable entitlement, unbelievable spoiled nonsense. But think about it from a political point of view. Trump has now put Nancy Pelosi in the position where, from the minority, she's got to deal with him if she wants to get anything, and if she gets anything, and if she deals with him, the base goes nuts. So he's got them kind of in this, whipsaw. He's got them stuck in this terrible place. And the Republicans are now thinking, gee, we can't go home without having done anything. So they're talking about tax reform. They're talking about real stuff. They're talking about repealing Obamacare.